Hi folks, a couple of weeks ago I uploaded a video on my Pony Runes. It was the second video I did on my Pony Runes, and I said at the beginning of that video that I'd started the video months before and never got round to finishing it. And it's the same with this one. This is my second video on the Sumikko Friend Plus that I started months ago and never got round to finishing, so I'm going to finish it now. So in this video I compared the Sumikko Catch and the Sumikko Friend, and I started by comparing all the games. So I'll show you that footage now, and after that I'll catch up with what I've been doing with the Sumikko Friend Plus and what I've learnt about it. First of all, I've got to get rid of this giant dust bunny, as this is what happens if you get dust bunnies and you don't get rid of them straight away. They turn into a giant dust bunny. So we'll get rid of that first. And as you can see there, I've moved up. I'm not a stranger. I've moved on from that. And I'm not an acquaintance. I've moved up to friend. So I wasn't sure if you neglected them after you moved up a friendship level, if you might slip back, but you don't. Once you've increased your friendship, even if you've neglected them a bit, you don't actually slip back. So this one has actually even left the room because I've been neglecting it, but I'm still considered a friend. So I showed in a previous video how you can get a Sumikko friend back.
Oh yeah.
If they run away, you put the cover on, the appropriate cover.
That's right, and you've got to stroke it, haven't you?
Yeah.
You give it lots of petting.
Which is quite cute. However, I can't do that at the moment because all I've got is the Neko cover, because we're away on holiday and I just took one cover.
Oh, what a shame.
So I'll only be able to demonstrate Neko in this video. But what I did earlier, before we came away, was I recorded side by side some of the games for the Sumikko Friend and the Sumikko Catch.
Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
Because I think that's an interesting way to start a comparison of the two.
Yes, it is.
So here is the first game with Takage. So there's a game with Takage on both the Friend and the Catch. So the Friend is on the left-hand side, and that's the music that you can hear is coming from that one. I must say, the one thing I prefer about the games on the Friend is the music. I like the music a lot better on the Friend.
But the tilting action, because of the built-in accelerometer, is not as good as using the buttons, is it?
I don't really like using that tilting action.
I've never thought accelerometers really make good inputs to game controllers, really.
So I swapped them over at this point. So now you can hear how the music sounds on
the Friend.
No, on the Catch.
Oh, on the Catch, yeah.
That's on the left-hand side.
Yeah, of course,
now. But as well as music, you've got this splosh that it makes when it comes out the water.
It's a good sound effect, that. I like it.
It's a really good sound effect. And using the sticks to control it going down and up, it's much, much nicer.
It feels much better to control that way, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. So on 4 of the games on the Friend, you use the tilting action to play the game, and on 2 of the games you've got to use the buttons to play the game. So in this game here, with penguin question mark, you're using the tilting action to get him to jump off one level onto another. It's also difficult to film as well. You know, when you've got to keep moving the device. There's one other thing that's different about the friend than the catch. You've got two different levels. You've got an easy level and a difficult level to the games, whereas with the catch, you've only got one level.
I think also you found out that one game lasted longer than the other as well, didn't it?
Well, I think the catch, they're all pretty much the same length. Whereas in the friend, they vary. I think you might get less time to do things, you know, if you go up to the higher level on the friend.
Oh, that's one of the things that makes it harder then,
Yeah. So you've got a little bit more complexity to the friend in that respect. I also found that with the catch, I consistently got higher sort of coinage.
Yeah.
I gained more points because it was just easier to do. So we're on to 2 games with Neko. Again, as you can see, with the friend, you've got to tilt the device. I do find that the games on the catch, I actually like the subject matter of the game more.
Yeah.
You know, like in the friend one, you're avoiding these bushes and picking up bits of food. And I know Neko has got good appetite.
That's right.
So that sort of fits in with its character. But I found the catch much more amusing. The fact that it was like
sat at a sushi bar.
Yeah. Stuffing its face.
And trying to avoid the hot drink. The spicy food so it could carry on eating rather than drinking.
Yeah. As well as the fact that it's just more pleasant to use the sticks going in and out rather than turning the device. So we've got the music going for the catch here. It's just so funny.
It is.
I just love
the whole thing's much more amusing,
Yeah. And I think with the penguin question mark one as well, the fact that you were like helping them to fly made more sense than them jumping off these levels, which didn't really do anything for me. So yeah, I would say overall I do prefer the games on the catch. So the next game that we look at, we're not tilting the device, the friend device, to play the game. In this game, you use the buttons, one of the buttons.
Okay.
So I found that this was a bit hard on my wrist because my wrists are a bit sort of sensitive to repetitive strain.
Yeah.
So you rigged up a little device for me, didn't you?
That's right, yeah.
That's why it sounds quite loud when it's
Yeah, it was
clicking.
using a couple of solenoids to press the buttons, and you were operating the solenoids by moving like a stylus around to touch 2 electrical points.
And we will show that in a future video. So I said that I was going to show that in a future video, but we're now in the future because that footage was when we were on holiday months ago. So I can show you the device now and how it works. Touch the metal contact there, and that operates a solenoid and it presses the button. Brilliant. I've got one for the right side button and one for the left side button.
Yeah, so no more pressing buttons.
I'm going to do a video in the future where we go into detail about how you made this, because you're actually making another one for me on a bit different, isn't it?
A bit of a different principle, yeah, sort of using electromagnets rather than solenoids, which are electromagnets of a type, but this is just straightforward electromagnets.
And that's going to be for the Puni runes.
Yeah.
So we'll get back to the games now.
So we swap them over here so that you can hear the music from the catch. Again, I think the catch game is much, much better.
Using the spoons on the top of the device, yeah.
Well, it's nicer in that you've got more control, as you always have. But also, I mean, even though it's a bit sick, it does fit with the character more, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That it's been fried.
2 pieces of food wanting to be cooked and eaten, yeah.
Yeah. And also, you've got those nice sound effects, not just the music. You've got the sound of the frying.
Yeah.
So with these next couple of games, you're using the accelerometer again to operate the friend to catch the apples.
Yeah.
This is my favourite game on the friend. Yeah, mainly because it's easy. You're pretty much guaranteed to get full 350 points. I've left it just sitting there.
Yeah, I can see you
before.
don't have to do much.
Yeah, I have actually not operated it before and still got like a reasonable amount of points when I've just wanted to build them up to buy food with. So the catch, I'm not so keen on this game. It's my least favourite game on the catch. You've got these little tapiocas and you have to choose ones to pick up.
Yeah.
And you have to get as close to 30 as you can. So the first few blue ones that I picked were high value. So I was looking to pick all the blue ones. But then they just suddenly changed to low value. So I thought, is it just random?
It could be the high values moving from one colour to another and it stays on it so long.
Oh, right. I never thought about that. I'll have to have another go at that. And the last one isn't really a game as such. It's just telling your fortune. So in one, you use the stick to open the blanket for the bear to tell you fortune. And on the other one, you use the button for it to tell it. But they're pretty much identical on that.
Yeah.
So that was all the games compared, and I've got some other comparisons to do looking at the screens. But first of all, I thought I'd get up to date on what the situation is on the Sumikko friend now. So I'm now best friends. That's what the 3 stars in the yellow bar means. So I've reached the top of friendship.
Can't go any higher than that then?
No.
Right, okay.
And one of the things I've noticed is they don't seem to run away when you're best friends.
Right. So once you're best friends, there's no more running away, even though you might not look after them.
They may still run away eventually, but I've not been looking after Takage for over a week. Now he's just got a giant dust bunny. He's not being fed. He needs a shower.
Oh.
But he still hasn't run away.
Right, but he would have done if you weren't best friends.
I'm sure he wouldn't have hung around that long.
Right.
When I was on the lower levels.
Is he in the room there, somewhere behind that dust bunny?
Yes. And in recent days, I've stopped looking after Mineko on the catch because I want to see how long it takes before it runs away.
Right.
To compare it with the friend.
Yeah.
Once you've got up to best friends. But I'll have to update that on a future video. So before we move on, I just want to say a few things about what they are like in comparison for caring for. So in the case of the catch, you've got 5 Sumikkos to look after.
Yeah.
But with the friend, you've only got 3. So I think the catch is
more intensive, is it?
Yes. And I did see a YouTuber put a short on saying that the catch was one of her least favourite Tamagotchis or virtual pets because they're so needy.
Yeah, I mean, virtual pets, you're supposed to be looking after them, but it can be too much, can't it? I suppose. Just like in the real world, if you have too many pets.
Well, I found that I tended to, in the end, to just look after one on one device at a time.
Right. It's a pity you can't choose how many you want to look after before you
I
set
think
the
that
goal,
would have
isn't it?
been really good. I think you should have like different levels. An easy level,
Practice looking after one character.
yeah, an easy level with just one. And then you can choose to move up.
Or you can only move up when you can prove that you can look after one.
Oh, yeah, that would be better actually, wouldn't it? So, with both of them, they both need an awful lot of petting. They need loads of pets per day. But I did find a way to get round this with the friend, and I did a short on this, so I'm just going to show you that short now. I found that with this Sumikko friend, it'll need petting every 2 or 3 hours. But another way you can make its happiness rise is by tilting it like this, like that as well. And I found that using this bird swing that Paul made for the Walker Squawker can actually give it the same action, so it can get its happiness level up. It's like feeling as if it's being tilted. So I'm going to demonstrate this. That little noise that you heard there was the happiness going up by one level. I did find though that I could only use the swing, the tilting action, to get its mood up, depending on what mood it was in to start off with.
So its starting position's important then. Okay.
Yes.
That makes some sort of sense, that, yeah.
Yes. So it has to be in a good mood or a normal mood to use the tilting. If it's in a bad mood, you can only raise its mood by petting it. You have to pet it.
So you've got to be extra special to it if it's in a bad mood to bring
Yes.
it out of that bad mood, yeah.
Yeah. I also found this screenshot here is from a guide that a wonderful lady produced. I've put a link to it on the previous video. She had good mood, normal, and bad mood, but there's actually a mood in between good mood and normal, where it gets these like rosy cheeks when it's in a good mood, but it can flick between good mood and normal with the rosy cheeks flashing on and off.
Right.
I didn't realise that they stay on permanently. You know, that there's like this extra.
So it's like transitioning from one mood to the other. I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
It's, as you say, flicking between the two moods, yeah.
And I also found it. She said here that if a Sumikko is crying, it's run away. But I also found that they cry when the batteries needs changing.
Yeah, and you've not seen anything about that in the instruction manual, have you?
Well, this is just her instruction manual.
Right, yeah.
Because obviously the instructions are all in Japanese in the manual that came, but it was very small anyway. I doubt very much they've gone into that detail.
And you've not heard anything online about that?
No, about the crime when the batteries run out, no. So let's get back to comparing now a different aspect. I compared the friend with the catch for entertaining the Sumikkos. So I've got Kage as an example. And on the left is the friend.
Yeah.
So in the friend, you can entertain your Sumikkos by giving them toys. So he's just had the balloons there. I like this one.
Piano.
A piano. But unfortunately...
You can't hear him play.
No, there's no sound with it.
That's a shame.
Yeah. But with the catch on the right-hand side, you do get some sounds with it. You get some really nice little tunes.
So what happens with the catch is you don't give them, the catch is on the left-hand side now so you can hear it. You don't give them toys, you take them out somewhere.
Oh, for an entertaining experience.
Yeah, I think that's nicer, really. I think there's something sort of, when you see them side by side, there's something sad about just walking up and down the room with those balloons.
Yeah, there isn't.
When you compare it with the other one
Yeah.
where he's going to the fun fair.
And then coming back and feeling good.
Yeah, that's another thing as well. In the catch, when they come back, they have little hearts coming from them, like they're really happy. But you don't get any of that with the friend. You can put different backgrounds in with the friend.
Mm-hmm.
So I did get a sort of seaside scene and put it as the background, but it's still not, I don't know, there's something still a bit sad about it compared with the other one.
So that was entertaining, the Sumikkos. Before we move on to comparing Happy Neko in the two devices,
Yeah.
I thought I'd just say at this point which one I think I prefer.
Out of the catch and the friend.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And at the moment, I'm feeling like I like the friend better.
Oh, that's interesting, because I know you don't like buttons as such, and the catch has got the spoons, but you prefer the friend.
Yes, I like the games better in the catch, because using these sticks, it's just so much fun. And like I said earlier, I like the subject matters of the games as well.
Yeah.
And I like the sound effects with them as well. The friend doesn't seem to have any sound effects. I like how this speeds up as well. I made him drink the hot, made him eat the hot food. Didn't do very well there. Wasn't concentrating. Didn't get anything.
So you prefer the games on the catch, but you prefer the
Yes.
friend overall?
Yes. And that's to do with there being more animations on the friend. Like here, when you give them toys, when they're in a happy mood, they'll play with the toys.
Yeah,
Let's
that
play
is
with
especially
crayons
cute,
there.
isn't it? Yeah.
Really cute. And there's a lot of other animations as well when he's very happy. And I'll talk about that at the end of the video. But I also just love this aspect of being able to clip this on, and you've got your little character there, and you can get it to react with the touch sensor and with the rocking, and it can be really, really cute.
So is that changing it from a virtual pet into something else?
Yeah, I think it's making it more like an interactive pet. And we're building on this because we're actually going to make another device for it, because that swing was never made for this. So you're going to make a more compact, very cute little rocker for it.
Yeah.
And that'll be coming in a future video. So yeah, I think you can sort of play with it like an interactive pet and not just like a virtual pet.
It's interesting, the step from going from virtual pet to interactive pet is bringing it more into our world, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, actually making physical things for it. Yeah. I also think that there's a lot more going on with the friend. I think it's more complex.
Yeah.
And though I've not got time to compare everything in this video, I'm going to do another follow-up video where I'm looking at some aspects I haven't looked at in this video, such as going and catching Sumikkos, which I can compare on both the devices, and taking it on the outing, which you can only do with the friend.
Right. Do you feel closer then to the Sumikos in the friend?
Yes, I do. Yeah, especially Neko, because that's always been my favourite character. So, speaking of Neko, let's now look at Neko in a good mood on both the devices.
I thought I'd do a comparison of the friend and the catch, showing Neko in a good mood.
Right.
So the one on the left is the friend.
Uh-huh.
Just concentrate on that one first.
Yeah.
So, first of all, we saw his face with the cover on.
Mm-hmm.
And
Gets those rosy cheeks.
he gets rosy cheeks.
Yeah.
And those rosy cheeks can sort of be flashing on and off or on
Right.
permanently. But he also gets other Sumikos visiting him
Right.
when he's in a good mood.
Has he got one visiting now on the friend?
Yes. Now he's got the polar bear visiting, even though the polar bear at the moment is sort of not happy because I've not fed it for a couple of days.
Ah, right.
Because I've not been looking after the polar bear or the dinosaur, and yet the polar bear was still visiting
That's
him.
interesting.
And he's got Penguin question mark visiting him here, even though Penguin isn't in the game. He still sort of comes into it to visit, as does Totatsku. So
Right.
even though those two Sumikos are not in this game, they can still visit.
So, because they are characters in the Sumikko Garashi world.
Yes.
Right.
And even if you're not taking care of characters, they will still go and visit other ones, like the polar bear visited Neko.
It's probably complaining.
Well, it could be. So, just looking on the other side now, we've got Neko scratching at the wall.
Okay, so same character,
catch.
and this is in the catch, yeah.
Yes. So, in the Neko animated stories that I've seen on YouTube, he scratches the wall when he's feeling a bit sort of embarrassed.
Oh, right.
And then this next animation in the catch, he's watering his grass friend. You know, it's really odd because he's got this lump of grass that is his friend, but then sometimes you see him eating grass.
As cats do, yeah.
But then he's got this lump of grass that's his friend. There, look,
he's
he's
eating
eating.
it now, yeah.
But that's not his friend. That's a different bit of grass. It's a bit odd.
Maybe it's just self-sacrifice by the grass, because it's true friendship.
And in this one,
It's got a lot of flowers around him.
yeah, he only gets those flowers round his head when he's in a happy mood. And I'm going to finish off this video by letting you see this tune he plays when you get him super, super, super happy. And then when after he's played the tune, you can get friends visiting and a little tune accompanying them. Or you can also get friends bringing him presents. So here, Totatsku is bringing him a piece of cake.
Nice.
And then the polar bear brought him something, and I thought this was hilarious. It's just the choice that the polar bear would make. What do you think the polar bears brought him?
Cup of tea?
You're right. I love how they keep within the characters. So, folks, I'll leave you with an action replay of that because that was just so cute. Thanks for watching as always, and hope to see you next time.